Hey everybody, welcome back. It's James again. This is episode number 2. So you've signed your class placement letter and you have a class date set to when you're going to arrive to start your training. In this episode, we're going to talk about preparing for your first week, as well as actually moving to Arizona and any advice I would have for that, since I've already been here almost about a month now. And so I'll give you guys some advice on moving to Arizona, some suggestions on where to live, and overall preparing for your first week here of training. So in the coming weeks leading up to your class start date, you're going to get a few emails from the United Aviate team. You're going to get the living situation email, the Aviate interview email, ordering your uniforms, as well as scholarships emails, and some pre-arrival study guide stuff that you'll have to know before you get here. So the very first email you're going to get from the United Aviate program is the living situation email. As of the June 2022 class, the dormitories were full. At least the male ones were for now. Not sure how that's going to end up in the future, so they recommend that we get an apartment elsewhere. They will send you an Excel file with some of the recommendations based on like the cost and the proximity to the school, and or you could go out on your own and find one for yourself. Just keep in mind that you may have to adjust your loan amount in case you do opt in for like a bigger, higher cost apartment. There is no, there's a cafeteria on campus, but there's no set like meal plan yet. It's kind of, you just go there as you feel like it, and you pay for each individual meal if you want to. It's open to all the students. And the training will take place and the school is located at the Phoenix Goodyear Airport. If you just Google that on maps, you'll kind of get an idea where that is. It's in the city of Goodyear, Arizona. And that's where you do all your training. So the entire program is 12 months. So you'll want to sign a lease for 12 months. So you're not having to move, halfway through the program. It can be a big distraction, in my opinion. As far as packing to move to Phoenix, I pack pretty light. I live only one state away, so it was only an 8-hour drive for me. And you really don't, because you're going to be in uniform the whole time while you're in school. So you're not going to really need that many. I guess if you go out a lot, but you're not going to have a lot of time anyways, because you're going to be studying a lot, going to ground classes and such like that. You're not going to need any cold clothes either, because it's really hot in Phoenix. Once you'll get here, you'll see that you won't need a sweater pretty much, most of the year anyways. So I would say pack pretty light. If you're going to move to your own apartment, they do also have some programs for like furnished apartments that you can get to. However, I didn't find those to be very cost effective. I would just bring like minimal furniture if you can, in kind of like a moving van or something. I had a truck, so I was able to move all that stuff. Another email that you're going to receive in preparation for your first week is an email regarding the uniforms and the dress code. This email is going to outline everything that is approved for the dress code. You will be wearing uniforms every day, except maybe like your first day of basic indoc, where you'll just show up in your regular clothes until you get your uniforms, and then you'll be required to wear uniforms for the rest of the training. They will send you a link to buy your uniforms online, so you can order as many shirts as you want, or as many pants that you want. Personally, I ordered a week's worth of shirts and pants, just so I wouldn't have to be doing laundry, every other day. Moving on down the checklist, another type of email you'll get in preparation is for scholarships. United Aviate will send out some scholarship reminders to apply for any scholarships that you were interested in. They will remind you for, such as the EAA Scholarship Fund, like the Latino Pilots Association, any association that you may be a member of. They will send out reminders when those scholarship window applications open and close. So be sure to fill all those out because it never hurts. And who knows, you could win one and get some money off of your training. So that's always a good thing. So one of the last things you'll have to do is schedule your Aviate interview. Your Aviate interview is basically essentially your interview for the airlines. Once you get into the Aviate ecosystem and go through the whole thing, you won't have to interview for United again, because the whole point of this United Aviate program is to essentially create a fast track and first priority for the students that go through here to get to the mainline United airplanes. In this interview, in my case, there's 2 different people doing it. So you'll just sign up for a date and time, and we did this before we went to our start class date. So my class start date was July 11th, and so throughout May, they had us all, everybody in my class, they had us all scheduling different times throughout May before we went to our start class date. And this interview is different from the video interview that you did in your initial application. And the questions are pretty standard, like behavioral type questions. And it's a pretty laid back interview, to be honest. This is kind of like the interview side, if you will, for United Airlines. And the technical side of the interview is you completing all your ratings throughout the program now, and that will constitute your technical interview. So it's really makes it easier for you to get all this stuff out of the way first, and then the transition is way easier when you go onto the regional airlines and then eventually onto the mainline United aircraft. For your arrival for your first week, or basic in-dock is what they call it, which is basically just an overview of all the procedures, all their guidelines, going over the entire course syllabus and getting familiar with the program overall and setting expectations for you. They're going to send you what they call a pre-arrival study guide, which is basically just kind of some concepts that they wanted you to know before your first week. Just simple concepts like the military alphabet and getting to know the Cirrus SR-20, which is the planes that we train in, getting to know some of their essential speeds and overall properties of the aircraft itself, getting more familiar with the aircraft and the systems of the aircraft. So that's really it for prepping for your first week and moving to Arizona to start your training. In my next video, I'm going to talk about your first few weeks of training, because they're going to go by pretty quickly, because you'll be really busy with basic in-dock stuff, simulator stuff, as well as your first couple of flight lessons as well. So I'll be talking about those in my next video. If you guys like this video, or if you have any comments, please leave them below, and I'll do my best to answer all of your comments. Thanks again for watching, everybody.